Have you ever walked into a home and instantly felt a strange, deep sense of calm settle over you completely? No expensive furniture, no designer lighting, no luxury interior, yet something inside you softens the moment you step inside. And then there are homes with everything money can buy: sofa, chandeliers, the latest decor from every glossy magazine on the shelf. Yet somehow, walking through the door feels heavy, like you've entered a storage unit instead of somebody's actual living space. So the real question becomes, is it about money, design, or something else entirely different? I used to believe it was purely about budget and taste, nothing more complicated than that. Then I started reading about Japanese homes, and one detail completely stopped me in my tracks. Japan has some of the smallest apartments in the entire world, barely enough room to breathe properly. Yet somehow, their homes feel alive, calm, almost like the space itself is exhaling slowly. Meanwhile, back here in Britain, we hear the same sentence every few months without fail. Where on earth did all of this stuff even come from in the first place? That single question marks exactly where our mindset splits completely from the Japanese approach to living. We spend our lives constantly tidying, sorting, and shoving things back into cupboards we forget exist. The Japanese, instead, decide right at the door what is even allowed to enter their home. That one small habit quietly reshaped their entire relationship with space, possessions, and their own minds. Today, I'm walking you through 10 things Japanese people refuse to keep in their homes, and number 10 will be the single most important point in this entire video. In Japan, a home isn't just somewhere you sleep, eat, and exist quietly. It's treated as a reset button, a place where pressure from the outside world is left firmly outside. That's why Japanese culture holds on to one deceptively simple, deeply powerful question. Does this object make my life genuinely easier, or is it merely occupying space? That single question has quietly reshaped not just their homes, but their entire mindset. And the very first thing on this list is sitting in your kitchen right now. Picture a quiet morning in an old Kyoto house, soft light drifting through the window. An elderly Japanese woman reaches for her everyday teacup from the wooden kitchen shelf. She pauses for a moment, studying it carefully before deciding what happens next. There's a tiny hairline crack running along the rim, barely visible unless you're truly looking. She smiles gently, places the cup back on the shelf, and quietly reaches for another. At first, it seems like such a small, almost meaningless decision to make. Then you realize the moment was never really about the cup itself. It was about the quiet respect given to things we use, hold, and rely on daily. In Japan, this idea has a name, and it's called wabi-sabi living. It's about appreciating imperfection, honoring wear, and gently accepting the natural journey objects take. Researchers at Princeton found that visual clutter genuinely splits our attention without us noticing consciously. Unnecessary objects quietly force our brains to work far harder than they need to. Now imagine your first cup of tea, and your first glance is a cracked mug. It might seem trivial, but that object just sent your brain its very first signal. Respect doesn't always mean clinging to everything forever without ever letting anything go. Sometimes respect means thanking something quietly and allowing it to leave gracefully instead. And honestly, the real weight in most kitchens isn't the cup at all. It's hiding inside that one cupboard that groans every single time you open it. Let's try a small challenge together. Picture your own overstuffed storage cupboard right now. Plastic containers, old gift boxes, carrier bags, broken chargers, and that one mystery cable nobody recognizes. You're not alone here. Nearly every household in Britain keeps a cupboard exactly like this, and everyone shares the exact same favorite excuse whenever somebody questions why it's there. It might come in useful again someday, somehow, eventually, probably, maybe. Who really knows? In Japan, there's a philosophy that directly answers this exact hesitant, familiar way of thinking. It's called Danshari, and it isn't only about throwing things away carelessly. It's about politely refusing anything that takes up space or drains your mental energy. Psychologists studying decision fatigue explain that every extra object becomes a tiny potential decision waiting, and those small daily decisions quietly build up into genuine exhaustion by the evening. So just ask yourself one honest question about anything sitting in that cupboard. If I didn't already own this, would I actually choose to buy it? If the answer is no, then that object's journey with you has quietly ended. And if you ever discover what that mystery cable actually belongs to, do tell me. But the next item isn't about clutter at all. It's about mental stillness itself. In traditional Kyoto homes, you'll sometimes find an entire wall left completely bare and empty. First-time visitors assume something is obviously missing, that the room simply isn't finished yet. A Japanese architect will smile and gently explain that the emptiness is the actual design. This philosophy is called meaning that empty space is genuinely part of the design, just as music isn't only made from notes, but from the silence between them. That same silence, applied to a home, is what makes certain rooms feel peaceful. Not every shelf needs filling, not every corner needs another ornament sitting there. Sometimes one empty corner brings more calm than 10 decorative pieces ever could. Now let's move to the part of the house where clutter affects more than space. Sometimes it quietly affects your actual physical health without you even realizing it's happening. Open your bathroom cabinet drawer and take an honest look at what's inside. Painkillers, half-used cough syrups, an old vitamin bottle, and medicines with expiry dates long past. Why do we hold on to these things long after they've stopped being useful? The answer is simple. Our brains whisper that we might need them eventually, someday. In Japan, the bathroom isn't just somewhere you get ready in the morning. It's considered part of recovery, a space tied closely to healing and physical well-being. Many Japanese families check their entire medicine cabinet every few months without fail, not just for tidiness, but so the home doesn't become a museum of old illnesses. Picture waking up every single morning and immediately seeing expired medicine, old prescriptions, and half-empty bottles. Every object quietly reminds you of a time when you weren't feeling well. Psychologists call this environmental cueing, where surroundings silently trigger old memories and feelings. Sometimes recovery doesn't start with new medicine. It starts with releasing the old kind. Now here's a small confession. Somewhere in your home is a bag of bags. Inside that bag are more plastic bags, and inside those, somehow, even more bags. If that sounds familiar, congratulations! You're officially part of a very relatable club. We convince ourselves it'll come in handy tomorrow, and tomorrow quietly becomes next week. Slowly, one shelf fills entirely with objects kept purely for their imagined future usefulness. In Japan, people generally avoid sacrificing present-day space simply out of fear about tomorrow. The rule is refreshingly simple. Only keep exactly what you genuinely need right now. Every just-in-case object quietly steals a little more of your actual living space today. And when physical space shrinks, your mind often starts to feel that same tightness. Now, the next thing connects directly to something far more personal, your actual sleep. It's 11 at night, and you're already lying comfortably in bed, feeling ready for sleep. Just 5 minutes, you tell yourself, reaching quietly for your phone on the nightstand. One notification turns into a video, then another, then suddenly 45 minutes have completely vanished. Morning arrives, the alarm rings, and your very first thought is pure exhaustion again. Sleep scientist Matthew Walker has explained that our brains remember more than just time. They also remember place, associating certain rooms with certain very specific types of activity. If your bedroom constantly hosts scrolling, emails, and late-night videos, your brain learns something troubling. It slowly stops associating that room with rest and starts linking it with activity instead. That's exactly why many Japanese homes treat the bedroom as a completely wire-free zone. No television, no constant notifications, and often no phone charging anywhere near the bed. I'm not asking you to give up your phone completely starting today. Just try one small experiment tonight. Charge your phone somewhere far from your actual bed. Do this for just one full week and genuinely notice what quietly begins to change. You might not just sleep better, your bedroom might finally start feeling like one again. Picture Tokyo in March, a Japanese student packing up her small university apartment carefully. Two boxes sit on the floor, one filled with books, another filled with sentimental keepsakes. She lifts a mug from the second box and studies it gently for a moment. Quietly, she whispers a simple thank you, then places it into the donation box. At first glance, the scene feels almost strange, like she's rejecting a meaningful gift. Then you realize she isn't rejecting the gift at all. She's rejecting the guilt instead. How many of us still keep a mug, ornament, or item purely out of obligation? Every time we notice it, a quiet voice says removing it would feel disrespectful somehow. Japanese philosophy offers a genuinely beautiful perspective on this exact familiar feeling of guilt. The true value of a gift exists fully in the moment it was given. After that moment passes, the love isn't stored inside the object itself anymore. The love lives permanently in the action, the gesture, the memory of that exchange. And that's precisely why certain Japanese homes feel so remarkably light and unburdened somehow. They hold on to love, not guilt. And that difference changes absolutely everything about a space. Here's an honest question. If I visited your home today, what would I find? Would there be a drawer filled entirely with paper, receipts, warranties, and forgotten documents? Old electricity bills, bank envelopes, photocopies, and manuals for products you no longer even own? We tell ourselves we'll deal with it eventually, later, sometime, definitely soon, probably tomorrow. But neuroscience makes an interesting observation about unfinished paperwork sitting quietly in drawers. Your brain treats every visible, unfinished document as an ongoing, unresolved, pending task somehow. That drawer only needs to stay open for 2 seconds to trigger this feeling, and your mind gently reminds you, this still isn't finished. This is still waiting. Stress doesn't usually arrive all at once. It builds up slowly, drop by drop. That's exactly why Japan doesn't let paperwork linger around indefinitely without any clear decision. There are only 3 real options available: file it, recycle it, or destroy it completely. Pick up one folder today and you might feel a small amount of mental weight lift. What do you think is genuinely the heaviest thing sitting inside your home right now? It isn't the furniture, and it certainly isn't all those cardboard boxes stacked away. The heaviest thing is actually the emotion we quietly attach to certain physical objects. People often don't keep things because they need them, but because letting go feels difficult. An old diary, a jumper, a letter, a childhood mug, each one holding memories tightly. You pick it up, and suddenly you're transported 10 years back without even trying. Japanese culture has a concept called mono no aware, meaning beauty exists in impermanence. Every beautiful moment eventually passes, and accepting that truth makes each moment feel precious. That's why they honor memories fully without allowing themselves to become trapped inside them. Honestly, the hardest thing to declutter was never really the wardrobe. It was always the heart. Before you finish watching, I want to leave you with one small, honest challenge. Don't clean your entire home today. Just choose one single drawer to open. Pick up one object from inside it and ask yourself 2 simple, honest questions. If I didn't already own this, would I genuinely choose to buy it again? And does this object bring me calm, or does it bring guilt, stress, or obligation? Once you have your honest answer, the right decision usually becomes remarkably clear immediately. At the very start, I asked why some homes feel calm the instant you enter. By now, you probably already understand exactly where that quiet feeling comes from. Calm doesn't come from expensive decor, a bigger house, or another online shopping order. It arrives when we finally remove the things quietly draining our energy every single day. And one final thought before you go, something worth genuinely sitting with tonight. We don't usually keep things because we truly need them in our lives. We keep them because we're afraid that letting go means losing the memory too. But memories were never stored inside cupboards, drawers, or dusty cardboard boxes at all. Memories live inside people, not objects, no matter how meaningful those objects once felt. So don't change your entire home today. Just choose one drawer, one shelf, one box. The change might begin quietly in your home and slowly move into you instead. If you've made it all the way here, type just one word below and tell me honestly, what's the very first thing you're finally letting go of today?